Hello, my dear friends. About 20 years ago, I heard a Dvar Torah from Rabbi Yisrael Peleov, Olav Hashem. He spoke at Shalosh Shudas in the shul. Rabbi Peleov was the father of Susie Wolf, the father-in-law of Barry Wolf. His granddaughter, Rachel Wolf, is getting married this Sunday, Mazel Tov. Rabbi Peleov lived the last 12 years of his life here in Highland Park in Edison. He passed away 12 years ago. And he said a beautiful Dvar Torah, and it left a lasting impression upon me. Rabbi Pelev said that in the story of Chanukah, there was an unknown hero. Who was that? He was the person that placed the flask of oil in a hiding place in the Beis Hamikdash. And to explain what the context here, the Gemara says that when the Chashmonaim came to the Beis Hamikdash after overcoming the Yevanim, the Greeks, so all the oil was tamei, it was defiled, they couldn't use it for the menorah, but they found one flask of oil that was still tar, and it had the chosim of the Kohen Gadol, the seal of the Kohen Gadol. So the question is, what was the purpose, why was the oil tar just because it was a seal of Kohen Gadol? Halacha is that if the Yevanim would have moved the flasks, even if they were sealed, they would make the oil tamei. So how did they know that the oil was not tamei? So the Ran, who was one of the Rishonim, one of the early commentators, says that the fact that the flask still had a seal indicated that the Yevanim did not touch it, because if they would have seen the flask, they would have removed the seal, and they would have seen what was in the flask, because they used the flask not only for oil, they used it to store valuable goods as well. Why would they not have, in fact, removed the seal? Why didn't they do that? It's because the Rashi says in Masechah Shabbos that the flask was hidden. It was about Sneya. It was hidden. So because it was hidden, and the seal showed that they hit the hiding place, it was not discovered, so therefore the oil was pure and they were able to use it to light the menorah. Said Rabbi Peleov, who is the person that put the flask of oil in the Beis Hamikdash? Who is the one that hid that singular flask? We don't know. It was an unknown person. So he was an unknown hero. It's like Havdil in Arlington National Cemetery. There's the unknown soldier. So there's the unknown hero that he saved the day with the flask of oil. And Rabbi Pelev made the point, and he said that everybody could be a hero. You don't have to be famous to be a hero. There was the unknown hero in the Beis Hamikdash, in the story of Chanukah. We all could be heroes. And I want to elaborate a little bit on what Rabbi Pelev was saying. Probably this is what he meant. And that is that a person never knows what the impact of their deeds are, or their actions are. We could be sitting next to somebody in shul and davening, and it could change the way they daven for the rest of their lives. We could say a good word to somebody. We could compliment somebody. We could make a person feel good. We could greet a person when they come into shul, we never know. It could be acts of heroism, but we're the unknown heroes because we don't know. We don't know what the outcome. We never know what the ripple effect of things that we do is. And here, this fellow, whoever he was, this unknown hero who put the flask of oil in the Beis Hamikdash, in his wildest dreams, would he even imagine that for 2,000 years they're going to be celebrating the Yontif of Chanukah? It's all in his schus. What he got so many schusim, this unknown hero. And millions of people celebrated Chanukah. And Chanukah there's so much Torah that's been written about Chanukah. You know, the Beis Yosef's Kasha, why 8 days, why not 7 days? There's all miracles, only 7 days. Svarim discuss that Kasha at length. There's so much more halachic discussion and drush about Chanukah. And Chanukah is such an inspiring yontif, and it's Chanukah. The Gemara says that the Choshech al Pnei Sahom, and Bereshit says there was darkness over the world. The Gemara says that was the Yevanim. The Yevanim created darkness. What kind of darkness? Spiritual darkness. And the menorah lit up the world because it's the values of the Torah that provide light to the world. And throughout Jewish history, the Jews, and we've been downtrodden, and we've been depressed, and we've been persecuted, and we've been suffering. And then comes Chanukah, and it's a ray of hope to the Jews to see, look, even in the most severe conditions. But you light one candle, illuminates the whole room, and that's how I think we feel today. Even that we're just so battered from what has been taking place the last 2 months, and the hostage situation is still unresolved, and the war is still going on, and the anti-Semitism is just beyond belief, and we're under assault, and there's tremendous trauma. I read that the week that they were letting the hostages out was the most traumatic week for the Israelis, because they never knew who was going to be released, and if they in the morning they didn't know if they would be released later in the afternoon. And we've all been going through the trauma of this war, and there are people, there are soldiers that are giving up their lives and wounded. So so lighting the menorah at a time like this, we all need it. We all need the inspiration. We all need the ray of hope, and the menorah represents the Jewish values. The conflict that's taking place is a conflict between good and evil, between morality and decadence, and that's what the menorah represents. So there's this one unknown hero. He's the one that has the schus, that because of him, the Yontif of Chanukah, the miracle took place. The Yontif of Chanukah was established, and then for 2,000 years, the Jews have been celebrating the Yontif of Chanukah. And the lesson is that a person has to realize that everything that we do, we don't know. We have absolutely no idea. This hero on Chanukah, he no clue what was going. He didn't even know there was going to be a miracle. He didn't know anything. He was just, he put away a flask of oil so that it should be available. Maybe he was most nefesh to do that. Maybe he put his life in risk, and that's why he had the schus of being the unknown hero. But the fact is, everything that we do can have tremendous consequences and make a difference. I told the story once of my great uncle, Mr. Ray Gann. Mr. Joe Gann, my father's uncle. The shul, the main sanctuary is dedicated by Ray and Joe Gann. They gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to the shul. They were very wealthy people. My uncle lived to be 100 years old, and he was in perfect health, and his mind was clear. And he donated tzedakah, hundreds of thousands of dollars to tzedakah, hundreds of millions of dollars to tzedakah. He gave like a faucet. He just gave and he gave and he gave. So he told me once what inspired him to give so much money to tzedakah. So he says that when he was a young child, his mother, they lived in a city in Russia called Rakashak. His mother used to bake challahs for people in the neighborhood, who the poor, for the almanas, for the widows. And she would send them with my uncle, with Uncle Joe. He would take the challahs to deliver them Erev Shabbos. So she once dispatched them to a woman that lived an hour away in Almana, and he came to her house with the challahs. She wasn't home, so he waited a while. She didn't show. There was nobody there. So what did he do? He went back home. He came home. His wife said, "Why you have the challahs?" He says, "There was nobody home." She says, "What? You left without leaving the challahs? What's she going to eat over Shabbos, this woman? She's so lonely and she's in pain. You left without giving her the challahs. Quick, run back before Shabbos. Run back. So it's an hour away. You'll have time. You go back and forth. Run back and deliver the challahs." That had such an impression on my great uncle that for the rest of his life, he was then a young boy, maybe 5, 6 years old. For the rest of his life, till he reached the age of 100, he was giving away millions and millions of dollars because of his wife his mother impressed upon him the importance of chesed and tzedakah. And we're all in the business of influencing people. We influence our children. Everything that we do, our children are going to model our behavior as they get older. It's amazing. I see it in my own children as well. Things that I told them when they were young and they dismissed, now they're telling it to their kids. That's normal. We're planting seeds, and it's not only by what we say, it's by what we do. It's how we conduct ourselves. My father had such an impression on me, and so many different. My father and my mother, Aleichem Hashalom. My father, when he used to come into shul, this stands out in my memory from 50, 60 years ago. He would walk over as he walked into the shul to daven mincha Shabbos morning and Friday afternoon, and he would come from the way the shul was set up. The entrance was in the back. He would stop by every seat and welcome people and say good Shabbos and make people feel good. And he had $1,000,000 smile. And he taught me the importance of saying hello to people. Not because he gave me a drush and he told me you have to do that, Yankee. It's important, but I saw how he conducted themselves, and we're all modeling for our children, and the ripple effect of our actions is not only on our immediate children, but it goes from generation to generation, from the children and grandchildren, great grandchildren. So everything that we do is of great importance. I will leave you with one final thought. Robert Kryman came back from Eretz Yisrael last week, and before he made his announcements, he told us that he met somebody who was in a tank in Gaza, and a missile made a direct hit on his tank, and it should have exploded, and nothing happened. It was an ace that it didn't go off, and the soldier, the Chayal, told him that there are scores of stories like that in Gaza where Nisim, the things that the explosives and bombs and different things should have injured the soldiers, and it did not. So I would say that you never know what was it that caused that missile not to go off. Maybe it was our tefillos that we say Tehillim after davening. Maybe it was the Tehillim, the davening of a young girl living in the Ukraine. Maybe in Fask, a young man. We have no idea. Maybe it was that somebody did mitzvah with kavanah. Maybe a woman ben shlicht with a lot of feeling Friday afternoon before Shabbos. We don't know, but we are all potential heroes. Everything that we do can have an impact. Sometimes in a direct way, people see us doing it, and sometimes it has an impact in the celestial spheres of the heaven. Before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we do a profound mitzvah. We daven with kavanah. We learn with feeling. We're learning that now that the war is in the midst, we're trying harder to do the mitzvahs. That we could be every single moment. We could be potential heroes. So I would suggest that when we light the menorah this is a spiritual war that's we're in the midst of. It's a war between good and evil. The evil is so profound. There's so much decadence. So people celebrating the decapitation and the murder and the raping and the hostage taking of men and women and children. It is just beyond belief. And our Torah provides meaning and value and tremendous sensitivity. And when we light the menorah, it represents the fact that we're bringing light into the world. And it's a light that it's not only for ourselves and for our family, but it's for all of mankind. We're bringing values and morality into the world. And if we will light the menorah with proper kavanah and proper feeling, so who knows if we won't be the hero that will help protect a chayal in Eretz Yisrael, or protect that even in last week there was a stabbing in Eretz. There's so many tsaras going on, and people in their own personal lives, even chutz la'aretz. So light the menorah this year in particular. Light the menorah with extra special kavanah, and think about the unknown hero that Rabbi Pelev identified. That he didn't know the tremendous, unbelievable impact that his actions had. We don't know either. When we light the menorah, it's a little small thing. It's trivial. It's insignificant. We light matches and candles all the time. But if you do it with the right feeling, that could be something with tremendous power. And we should think about the fact that when we're lighting the menorah, we could be tremendous heroes. I would just say, it's like when people buy a lottery ticket. If you watch them, they buy it with tremendous kavanah. They're so intense, and they're hoping that. And today the jackpot is worth $500 million, and people are thinking, "Oh, I hope I win." The chances that are winning, it's easier to fall off a cliff than it is to win $500 million in the lottery. But they're hoping. So to be a hero by doing a mitzvah with proper kavanah to have an impact on somebody else, it's not far-fetched. It's easy to be a hero. And that's what we have to think about in general, and especially on Chanukah when we're lighting the menorah. And our lighting should be a tremendous chus for all of Klal Yisrael. It should bring shalom into the world, and it should protect the chayalim, and the hostages should be able to return home safely once again. And there should be a Yeshua from this terrible period of time that we're experiencing, a Yeshua for the state of Israel and for all of Klal Yisrael.